Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. This is a consistently asked question in the comments and when I live stream on YouTube. How do you handle pressure, and how do you clutch out? There's a ton of stress and all your practice just feels like it goes out the window. For those watching who want super fast answer to this, it's breathing, keeping calm, removing daily stress so you can hyper focus on your game, and of course exercise. That's literally the bare basics of it. You don't have to do anything more. That's literally the crux of it. You could almost just leave the video, leave a like. But what we're going to do next, now the fast answer is out of the way, let's talk about how you actually improve each of these topics. And this one honestly is universal. Let's start with the first one. Number one, exercise. You're probably asking, wait, what? That has nothing to do with gaming. Well, when you're under pressure and stressed, your heart rate accelerates. When you're the last one in the squad and you have to clutch up, you get nervous, you stress out. I'm going to tell you a very personal story and how I overcame some of this anxiety because it resembles the same stress and pressure. When I was younger, I would get so nervous to speak in front of a crowd, I would actually throw up. It's embarrassing to talk about. It's embarrassing to admit. So what I ended up doing was constantly putting myself in front of crowds. It made my heart rate go through the roof, but through constant exposure to that high stress, it made it more manageable. What I learned is that exercise has a similar effect. When I worked out a ton, I was conditioned to know that my heart rate increasing was something that was not meant to fight or flight or panic. When you work out, your heart rate speeds up and create a similar effect. We're always also comfortable keeping in a state of calm, but when you're under pressure 1v1, have to clutch out, you freeze. So the next question you may have, does it ever go away? From my experience, it really doesn't. You just learn to manage it. With super high stress situations, I still get on the verge of that feeling, but it's through practice I have learned to manage it. Which leads to number two, constant exposure to that high stress situation. Remember, it's not a matter of skill, but experience. If you never experience those high clutch moments, how will you ever know how to handle them? It's through repetition of high stress that you learn to adapt and apply your practice. You can practice in low stress environments, but nothing compares to the real moments when the real anxiety and everything's on the line. No matter how good you are, your body will react differently to stress and anxiety. Look at basketball players who miss free throws. With everyone watching, you get stuck in your head and your muscles will naturally clench up, even if it's just a little that throws off your shot. But for those who say, well, I'm not stressed and I still suck, that's a problem. You're not invested. You need to generally care and be passionate about to maintain positive results. In sports, you gotta want it, because promise you the other person's gonna want it that much more, and you will clutch out and you'll beat you because they are all in and you're not. If you're not all in, and have not stressed or you have a carefree attitude, you won't get that adrenaline kicking in to give you the boost you need and accelerate your heart rate to win. Number three, learning to maintain calm. Let's say you're always stressed and your heart rate is always going up. Learn to meditate and keep calm is going to be key. Listening to relaxing music and even doing breathing exercises to maintain a consistent flow. Your goal is not to lower your heart rate to where you sleep. Focus on keeping a steady pace. So that pace, do not think slower, think steady. It's through the consistent flow and not bursting in stress that you can manage your way through it. Number four, daily stress. Your mind has to be focused only on the task at hand. Be sure to take care of extra stresses that will make your mind wander. Relationships, work, school, anything all within that category. If your mind floats to a random stress mid-fight, that's a problem, because you're not as focused as your opponent is. That distraction can cause seconds lost and clutching out a moment. Number five, the final point, why you practice. You put in time to practice to create confidence. Confidence is what builds calm. If you study for at least 10 hours for a test that was life or death, you won't be nervous. You're going to fly through that test relatively easy because you've studied, you're confident. If you study for 10 minutes, well, pretty sure you're going to have stress and anxiety over it, especially if it's something that's really, really important to you. Sometimes though, you practice and you still feel stressed. That's okay. That happens. It is why you remove other stresses to focus on the current task like we mentioned. It's why you do breathing exercises, ground yourself, and keep testing and do mock runs to actually push your heart in a healthy way. You can never just be in a constant state of calm, but the pro players and streamers you watch, you clutch out and seem calm, are just so used to what is occurring. They no longer have to go through the steps of panic. They keep a steady heart rate and manage through the stress levels through a calm and level-headed head. Because no matter what, those situations will be crazy, but do something enough you can be conditioned to do better. The feeling's never going to go away. Like I mentioned, when I step out on stage, I'm still just as stressed and panicked as I was whenever I first started and wanted to throw up. In some circumstances, it still happens. But it's through knowing that the stress is going to be high, through working out, through keeping calm, breathing, meditating, focusing, keeping it steady, and then working through it is really how you manage the same way through a 1v1 and clutch situation. Whenever I play a video game, nothing's going to be as stressful as being on stage, singing, or performing in front of an audience. So whenever I'm playing a game, I'm passionate, I care about the results, but I know that holding it in my heart and keeping steady, I'll keep calm under pressure. Again, I hope this video is helpful. Pretty high level, hopefully quick answers. You get through the video and go right back into game and keep practicing. I really appreciate all of you guys for watching. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys all in the next video.